Okay, this video is about how to use macros that you've already created. In the last video, we talked about how to create them. So if you're wanting to learn to create them, go to that video. This one is just about how to implement the use of macros. And we're going to start right here in bedroom 1 of the sample estimate, and we're going to hit the F1 key. You see right up here it says drop in macro F1. Now you can just click that, okay? That'll open up the macro dialog as well, but an F1 key is the shortcut, and it does it as well. So the first thing we want to talk about is kind of what a macro is. A macro is typically a group of line items that you're kind of grouping together under one name, so that when you click on the one item and click OK, it's going to drop in multiple items. Now inside my macro group, I've got some other items called categories, all right? And you can create these as well. They're more cheat sheets than they are macros, although they're in the macro section. So if you open up the category-bathroom macro, it reads more like a cheat sheet. And if you go, what's listed here is kind of what's going to be dropped in if you click on it. So if you double-click the item, okay, it's going to show you what is inside this macro. Remove and replace lower vanity cabinetry paint grade. And that's pretty much what this is. And so you're not going to have 3 or 4 line items drop in by choosing this one. So you can click on multiple items like that, hit the OK button, and then drop them in. And you're not actually limited, by the way, to just this category bathroom. You don't have to press OK when you've finished putting these check marks in. You can minimize this, okay? And you see how I just minimized it, and you can see the rest of them. You can go into another one, put a check mark there, 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 there. Then you come back. You don't have to come back to this one. I'm just showing you that those are still checked. Okay, you can minimize that, come over here and put in a few check marks, and then press OK, and it drops them all in. Okay, so you can kind of pick and choose from different macro groups. All right, and that's important. So let's go ahead and hit the F1 key again. Let's go back in here. If you click this right here, it's going to check all of them. All right, and if you click it again, it's going to uncheck all of them. And then you can, what you could do is if you know you're going to use most of them in the list, you could click them all and then uncheck the ones that you're not going to use. That might be faster for you. Or you can just come here and uncheck it and then check just the ones that you want to use. All right. Now that's if you want to use, if you want to manually, use the mouse to check it. If there's certain ones that you use a lot, we have assigned. These are considered macro groups right here, and these are the macros inside the macro groups. So we have, baseboard inside of different types of baseboard, regular, oversized, all sorts of different, so painted, stained, etc. All inside the baseboard macro group. Now we have a shortcut for the entire macro group called B for baseboard. All right, and you're going to type B in right there to be able to get to this macro group by using the keyboard. If you click bookcases, it's going to change to BC. If you click bathroom, it's going to bathroom actually doesn't have one assigned. You can choose not to assign them, and on the category ones I haven't done that. So quarter round is Q. It's going to put a Q up there. So let me show you what's going to happen if you want to use keyboard shortcuts. So F1 and then B for baseboard. Now you'll notice that when I pressed B, it did not tab forward to go to the actual macro itself, and the reason is because there is another macro group that also has a B. And so what iScope is doing is it's waiting to see if you want to type that letter C in. And if you typed the letter C in, it would automatically tab forward to the submacro. See how that automatically tabbed forward? Now if we go into, close it and open it again, If we go into one that doesn't have another, let me find one here. Okay, T for tile. I think we talked about this one a little bit in the last one. If I hit the T for tile, since there is nothing else over here that has a T in it, it's going to immediately tab to this macro, and that's important. So watch, T, and it automatically tabs. So it saves you a keystroke. All right, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're trying to write an estimate really fast, it means something. So the only sub macro inside the tile group is also it also has a shortcut code of T. So I could hit TT, press OK. Now let me show you how fast that is. F1, TT, enter, and bam, it's there. Okay, now that's fast. Now if you can remember 5 or 6 shortcut codes, which you're going to use shortcut codes that are intuitive. So maybe D for drywall, B for baseboard, and if you use too many of them, instead of D for drywall, maybe DR for drywall. So you're gonna use codes that are intuitive so that you can remember them. And you can actually print a cheat sheet out and stick it on the wall behind your computer, and you'll be really fast. You'll be able to enter in your flooring, then your baseboard, then your sheetrock, your texture, paint. You'll have a whole room built in just seconds just by memorizing those shortcut codes. And so let's go back into the macro group area, and let's find another one. This one right here, the macro group code is B for baseboard. Okay, and then for baseboard stained, it's BS. So let's go ahead and close that out. I'm going to hit F1, B, and then I have to hit the tab key because of the fact that there's another one macro group here with this C right here. So I'm going to hit the tab key and then BS for stain, hit the enter key, and it drops in. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to show you is that you can type in multiple macros at one time. Okay, so let's say that you had a macro group where you had multiple different things like flooring and then drywall and then paint, and you had multiple items all inside one group. So you would hit the main group macro group code, and then you would come over here and you could separate them by commas. So we're going to just real quickly just go down the list here. So B, comma, OP, comma, OS, comma, BS. So let me type that, B, comma, OP, comma, OS, comma, BS, and just press OK, and there they are. Okay. Now it can get faster if you're clicking. When you're doing a lot of them like that, sometimes it's faster just to click them. So F1, we're going to go to baseboard, and you see what happens here. When you click them, is it's just going to add them all together. It's not going to put the the code in here. All right. So press OK, and there you have it. And so that's pretty much all there is to using macros. In the last video we talked about the creation of macros. I hope you really enjoy the macro section of iScope because I have put a ton of work into it. I mean, really, there is just I'm shipping most of these macros out with iScope. So you're going to get ones for chair rail. You're going to get ones for stairwells. There's just quite a bit of information in here, a lot of hard work I've put into these macros, and at some point, I don't have them for download yet at the iScope website, but at some point I'm going to allow people to share macros on the site, to upload them and download them, and I'm going to post additional macros that people can download free of charge. So I hope you enjoy using iScope. Thanks.